Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm John Lazarus with Stories Matter and D&E Publishing. We're going to step away from the page today and explore this key question. Do writers deserve to be loved? Now you may be thinking, what an absurd question, John. Of course I deserve love. In fact, the whole reason I'm writing is so that I can get strangers to love me and fill the void left by my abusive parents who bet away my college fund on a racehorse named Always a Winner. But writers also know that when the writing is going good, nothing else matters. Aside from food, water, and oxygen, writing fills every other need. I can't tell you how many loads I've spilled just from the satisfaction I got from creating a tragic backstory, or thinking of a twist ending that would make M. Night Shyamalan's head explode. However, writers also know that writing can't always be this good. Writing can be as much of a cruel mistress as any $500 BDSM escort you can find on tryst.link. So you might decide that a real human relationship is something you want in your life. Being a writer makes this very complicated, but not impossible. In today's video, I hope to help you navigate the potential problems you might encounter with flesh and blood humans. We'll discuss the agonies of compromise on this edition of Stories Matter. Today's video is brought to you by eHarmony. Are you tired of never getting any matches on Tinder? Worried everyone on OkCupid is just using you to conduct sociological research? Or perhaps you're tired of Republican national conventions causing Grindr to crash? Join eHarmony. Voted the least likely dating app to match you with your future murderer, eHarmony is a great place for seeking serious relationships with people who are probably not riddled with STDs. Join eHarmony and end your crippling loneliness today. Now, fans of the channel have probably pieced together that I've had a shaky relationship history. After all, I've been married and divorced 3 times, even if the first one doesn't really count because that wife used a fake name and was already married to several other people. So just full disclosure, while I think I have some good advice to impart, keep in mind that I'm mostly a cautionary tale. Also, my story might not be your story. Sex and romance is varied and complex. So a little more about me. I'm the type of person who needs a lot of love. As my therapist used to say, I'm the type of person who runs into relationships very quickly. The fact that my therapist became my third wife probably means she was right. Anyway, to narrow the focus of this video, I will try to keep this advice specific to the ways writing can impact your relationships. Tip 1. Never date another writer. This almost goes without saying. I mean, obviously it's natural to be jealous when your wife gets a massage from her tennis instructor. But that's nothing compared with the crippling jealousy of your partner getting her story published in the New Yorker. At least I can sometimes get erections thinking of my wife bouncing atop a 20-year-old with a flawless chest and a rippled back. I can safely say another writer inking a deal with Random House has never made me erect. Plus, with both of you constantly shut away at your desks, nothing is ever getting done. Good luck keeping the mold at bay and the power on. And God forbid if you manage to produce a child, well, let's just hope it isn't fascinated by power outlets. Tip 2. Never date fans. But to be honest, you really should be with someone who doesn't read. I'm not saying you should date someone who's illiterate, but I'm also not saying it. While not as bad as dating a writer, this one's easier to fall into. Because naturally you want your fans to love you, and when those fans happen to have perfect tits, you'll probably think you hit the jackpot. Wrong. You almost certainly won't live up to their expectations. I've met a lot of writers, and they're way less cool in real life. Margaret Atwood, wonderful writer, but she steals silverware from restaurants. Jennifer Egan, maybe our greatest living writer, but she constantly looks at your phone when you're texting other people. And while Jonathan Franzen was a huge inspiration for me, he smells like onions and garlic and cigar smoke. Tip 3. Don't ask for writing advice. As I said in this video, you should never ask people you know closely to be your beta readers. There are only 2 possible outcomes, both bad. 1, they will give vague, dishonest support. Afraid to hurt your feelings, they will tell you not to change a thing, which all writers know is never the case. Or 2, they'll be brutally honest. You'll share your opinion. They'll say, why'd you ask for my opinion if you're just going to yell at me? You'll say you're not yelling. Then they'll ask why you also criticize their weight. Then you'll say that you're such a great writer you could literally have sex with anyone, so they should be grateful. Then they'll spend the night at their mother's house, and you'll go on a bender and have to spend any money that you made that month from your writing on medication to treat your crabs. It happens all the time. Tip 4. Be honest. Unless you do something really unforgivable. In that case, take it to the grave. This isn't really related to writing. I've just always found that this is generally good advice. Tip 5. Partners aren't your characters. You can't make them do whatever you want. It's easy to fantasize about your characters. After all, you can make them do anything and they don't need to consent to it. Having the power to kill things I've created is probably the main reason I became a writer. But you have to get rid of that mindset and remember that real people are just very disappointing. And I'm not just talking about crazy sex stuff. I mean, obviously it's unlikely you'll meet someone willing to give you a Brazilian pile driver in real life. But you also can't write your way out of bad situations. Fans of the channel will know that my second wife is by far my favorite. If our love story was fiction, I'd find some way to make our characters realize we were truly meant for each other, perhaps by having our daughter trap us in a broken elevator until we made amends. But in real life, I'd be breaking several laws if I tried that. As fans of the channel will also know, in real life I had to settle for finding an escort and making her look, talk, and act like my second wife. Which reminds me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so I can keep paying this hooker to look like my second wife. That's all for today, and I'll leave you with this week's This Day in Literary History. See you on the next one.